and welcome to In the Cool of the Day and today's segment of People Connecting People. I'm your host, Ruth Pegaron, and I have a special show for you today with a special guest who is a lifelong resident of the Washington, D.C. area. He is married with two sensational daughters, both of whom are attorneys, and two adorable grandkids. He is the author of 9 books, a former radio personality, a former syndicated legal columnist, a podcaster, a lecturer to high school classes. He is a professional photographer and a rated tennis player. He is a 45-year-old personal injury attorney. He is licensed in Virginia and Maryland, and he also has a nationwide practice representing burn injury survivors. Currently, he is the principal of a nonprofit organization that assists individuals in getting access to needed services. So please welcome attorney Paul Samakow. Thank you, Paul. Thank you so much for being here.
An honor. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So outside of the sensational daughters and the wonderful grandkids, I thought it was really cool to learn that you were a tennis player, and not only a tennis player, you're rated.
I'm a rated tennis player.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So tell us a little bit more about just Paul himself.
Well, I want to offer the greatest of thank you because you said that I was a 45-year-old attorney. Oh. And if that's the case, boy, do I look good. I
know, that's what I thought too. But you've done a lot.
I'm actually a little older than 45. Okay. I've been practicing law for 45 years.
Okay.
But to just give you a little bit, you know, my life is full of joy at this point in my career. It's no longer about the day-to-day grind. It's a bigger and a higher calling, and that's part of the, you know, the nonprofit that we've created. I have a partner, her name is Anna, you know, in this. And, you know, as I think as we get older, we think about others, not to say that younger folks don't, but, you know, my life has been one of, you know, mostly success and mostly joy. Like everybody else, I've had ups and downs, and some horrible things happen here and there, and, you know, you weather them. And what is that expression? If it doesn't kill you, it makes you stronger.
Right, exactly.
And so, you know, that means I'm Hercules. I don't know, but what we do on a daily basis in my law practice is help injured people. And that's satisfying. But now I'm reaching bigger. I'm reaching out to the community, and it's even more satisfying.
To do that,
yeah. I mean, I'm a lawyer.
Right.
I could keep talking and talking and talking.
Yes.
You know, so I'm gonna.
So when you say, you said words like joy, and you said words like satisfied, and I just want to know, like, with 2 daughters and they both become attorneys, like that had to really feel good.
It's again, I mean, you know, there's no joy like watching your children excel and become good people and productive members of society. And my older daughter lives in New York, and she's with a big law firm, the name of which I could never even begin to remember. And she's the smartest person on the planet because she knows things that I haven't even begun to learn. And my younger daughter is in Florida and the mother of our grandkids, and she's just a spectacular mom. And you know, anytime I go there, you know, she lives in Florida. The grandkids know I'm coming, and they run to the front door and jump up in my arms. Poppy, Poppy is like, I mean, there's nothing that melts your heart more.
Yes, exactly. And that would, I think, in the second act is what I call it, your second half.
Yeah.
You know, you work very hard to be successful and to have a good family. And then the second half of that is now you give back.
That's right.
And it sounds like that's what you're doing. And grandkids help you look at life a little differently.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
So I'm glad you decided to give back. And your nonprofit organization that we're going to talk a little bit about is called what? Tell us.
Latino Communidad.
Okay. And tell me a little bit about Latino Communidad.
It came from the understanding that we have of the frustration of everybody on one level and of the Hispanic community on another higher level. So you and I and your audience, I'm sure everybody has made a phone call to some place thinking that they're going to be able to get help, solve a problem, have a question answered, what have you. And you get, hello, thank you for calling, blah, blah, blah. Press 1 for this, press 2 for that. And the level of frustration that we have, isn't sending us to the shrink, but it's frustrating.
It's frustrating, it is.
And then
especially when it's an emergency or just an important need.
It is.
Yeah.
And you're making an instant decision on that phone call, listening to press 1 or press 2 or press 3, whether you want to wait to and leave your message at the beep.
Right.
Whether you want to leave the message, because they're not going to call you back most of the time. And if they do, you're probably out doing something and you didn't get the call. So then you got to call back again and you get the same voicemail.
Go through the same process.
Well, imagine if you don't speak English. The frustration level is higher. What do you do?
Well, I think sometimes it's not even just speaking English. I find that a lot of engagement I have with a lot of the Latin community, they speak English, but when you start talking about important issues, then it's better in your native tongue.
Oh, it
as
is.
well. You can the words are different.
Yes, they are.
Certain words are different. So I can see where this organization is going to really help be a gateway.
Ruth, you hit it on the head. Because what we're going to do, it's really kind of a twofold process or hope that we're going to fulfill better and better and better as we keep going along. But one is access.
Okay.
So we have gathered nonprofit organizations from the entire Washington region, Maryland, DC, Virginia, nonprofits, government agencies, and businesses, small businesses. And we've become a partnership and we're helping each other, we're promoting each other, we become a team. That this one knows of this and they can send them here, and that one knows of that and they can send them there. So the promotion within is by itself very satisfying and builds effectuates the goals of the nonprofits and the government agencies who are designed to serve. And it also helps the small businesses who are always looking for new customers, new clients. So that facilitation has become a reality, and then we're giving access. So as we move forward, the community, the Hispanic community in particular, is going to see that here is the place you can go to get access. Access,
well, before you say that, access meaning, I don't want to assume, but if you could clarify. So these government agencies, business owners, small business, nonprofits, I guess when they say they're going to commit to your community, they're committing to the Hispanic community that they will be available for this access.
Yes.
Okay. That's a part of their commitment to the nonprofit.
And we're looking for them to give us what I call inside phone numbers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
and
yes,
it's
I
not
like
always
that.
going to
I
work
like that.
because if you're not at your desk and you're not answering the phone.
Right.
But I want to share something. I mean, if you ask somebody, what's the number one thing everybody in the world wants? And people say money, power, relationship, love, sex. I'm allowed to say that. The answer to all of those is no. The number one thing that people want is hope.
Yeah.
When you have lost hope, you don't want to get out of bed.
That's right.
And if you've got something going on in your life, you hope that you're going to have a solution to that problem. And for the Hispanic community, and I'm not, pushing them only. I mean, there's hundreds of ethnic individuals and groups in this region, and this organization is going to help anybody that calls.
Right.
They don't have to be Latino. But the point is that we're going to offer hope by connecting them A to B, B to C, and try to help them with whatever it is that they're doing and keeping that hope alive.
Right.
I found in my career that it isn't even necessarily the result. If I have a client that goes to court because, some insurance company won't do what I want them to do, and we go to court and we go in front of a judge or a jury and we lose the case. It doesn't happen too often, but it does happen.
It does, yeah.
The clients turn around and say, "Oh, Paul, thank you for trying. This is all I wanted. I wanted my day in court. I wanted to share my story." So it isn't necessarily all the result,
right?
But it is that process that people cling on to, and that's what this organization is going to do.
Right.
It's going to continue hope, continue the belief that there is an answer, because there is an
There's
answer.
That's
Goodness gracious, in the Washington, D.C. area.
It's always an answer. Yeah, this is an answer. Might not be what we want to hear, like you said, but there is an answer. There is an answer, and there has to be people to listen. And that's what it sounds like this will give to.
That's what it is.
Right.
There are more agencies here than you can shake a stick at. I mean, there, I don't know, the agency for how to make brownies better in your oven. I mean, who knows?
Right.
But we are going to try and connect them. We're going to keep bringing in nonprofits, government agencies, and small business owners who working together and then going out, with their direction to promote to their legions and their listservs and their newsletters and their signs, I mean, whatever it is, it's a little ball at the top of the hill. It's a snowball. It's going to roll down, and I'm beyond excited about what the potential for this is.
Yeah, that's exciting. It sounds very exciting. And your passion for it is coming across.
Well,
and that's wonderful. That means that'll be very successful because of that. So when you started, you mentioned Anna, who's someone that's very much a part of your team and leading this with you. So when you sat around and y'all decided this concept, how did you just come up with the name? I like the name. I think it's it speaks to what you're doing and what you just described. But how did you come up with that name?
Well, I didn't.
Okay.
Truth.
Yeah, always truth.
We had to find a name that was not taken, so we could use it as our name for the website. And I have an excellent website guy, who will get me a name and reserve the URL. And we gave him name after name after name. Nope, taken. But the name had to have some meaning.
It does.
So it wasn't going to be the fruits and trees of the basket weavers of America.
Right,
I mean, pick a name.
Right.
It had to have some connection. So you look at it and you go, so now Latino Communidad. Comunidad means communication.
Okay, got it.
Hispanic, Latin, Spanish-speaking people communicating. I think it rings a bell. I hope it does.
Right.
And it's easy to figure out how to spell it. And when we get our website up, it's going to be easy for people to go there and, again, use what resources are there. I'd like to tell you who came up with that name.
Right. But it was collectively, right?
It was
the internet.
Anna. It was Anna gave us 57 names. I gave 1 or 3.
Right.
My website developer had 18. I don't know.
Right.
But that's where we settled, and I'm very happy with the name. Well,
it's very important that you create a name, one, that does definitely communicate what you do and people aren't trying to figure out what do they do.
Yeah.
But secondly, that's how people communicate today is the web. So you need to have a website that's going to be mirror what you're doing. So that was a good tool to bring in that avenue. So way to go. So thank you so much for that.
We got lucky. It was great.
You did get lucky.
Yeah.
All right. Well, it's time for a short break, Paul. And we will return after these important messages.
I'm a wife,
a sister,
and a grandfather.
I'm an office clerk.
I'm a research analyst,
dance fitness instructor,
actor.
I'm a copywriter.
I'm a veteran.
I have lupus,
cerebral palsy.
I'm blind.
And I'm working in a job I love.
Because I was given a chance
to contribute my skills and talents.
To show that my disability
is only one part of who I am.
Who I am.
Who I am.
At work, it's what people can do that matters.
For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Welcome back. You are watching In the Cool of the Day, and today's segment of People Connecting People with my special guest, attorney Paul Samakow, principal of the nonprofit Latino Communidad. So prior to the break, we were discussing, I guess it would be naturally to talk about the name, but you were talking about the website, how a web URL was kind of a leader into helping you decide. No matter what we want to name things, if there's not an internet connection to it, we can't. So the website, when you do create it, will it be just in Spanish, or is it going to be in English? Will it be in other languages? So what's the concept, or what will be the vision of the website and why would people go there?
It'll be in both languages.
Okay.
And the vision is through the promotion of what I can do and what our partners will do. It's just going to be promoted and promoted and promoted in lots and lots and lots of different ways, so that individuals can go onto that website, and there'll be drop-down menus that share from different segments of the society. I need a dentist. My child is being bullied at school. I'm a woman who has suffered abuse. I need help on how to start a business. You tell me, Ruth, what do you think someone might want that they don't have in their own head right now? That is the question we're trying to answer by having more and more partners join us who can address that. Right. And the sky's the limit. So the website, it's going to be evolving. As we continue to get new partners, they will be highlighted. They're going to have a photo. They're going to have a little blurb about who they are. They're going to have email us here. They're going to have a phone number they can pick up and call. Again, the trick for this pony is access, not leave a message and maybe in the next 3 weeks somebody calls you back, and you happen to be by your phone. Here it is. This is where it is. And we're going to have someone answering a phone who's bilingual, who can, hey, sure, yes, let me, let's go onto the website together. Here you go. And if they don't have access to the web, which is probably not, too many people, I think most do, but, nonetheless, I mean, so, you get someone, an elder who is,
absolutely.
75, 80 years old who has issues. Maybe that individual doesn't have access to the internet. So we'll give them, we have things called conference calls. Hold on, let me just connect you to this person. Okay, you two going to talk? Okay, I can drop out. Right. And so this is the goal.
Oh, that's wonderful. So I'm glad. My next question was going to be, will you have a phone number that people can call and get a live person?
Oh, yes.
Because that's important for sure.
Yes.
And I know I was excited when I heard you say that you were adding death care and end of life. So I was very excited to hear that, because it's a very important for every community, but especially the Latin community. So when you say everything, you are starting from the beginning and to the end. And that's very, very important. Oh. So that 1-800 number, or that number, they could call, they'll get a live person, and then they will direct them accordingly to whoever their needs are or whatever they would need.
Exactly.
So that would be the website. And then will you have any kind of events centered around Latino Communidad?
You're patting my heart.
Okay, good.
I had the privilege of having you come to our kickoff event about a month and a half, 2 months ago,
Absolutely.
Right? And we had, 50, 60, 70 people who came representing all measure of different entities, nonprofits, government agencies, and private businesses came, and we explained further our vision, and they gave us their contact information. And I've now got an email that's going out to this group asking them to bring us more partners. And we do have an upcoming event. And honestly, it's a fundraiser because, everything, that you do seems to have need for, some dollars. We're going to have an art show in October.
Wonderful.
And the goal is to bring in lots of artists who will donate half of the proceeds of anything they sell to our foundation. So I'm very excited about it. And I, as a photographer, I'm going to have some, humbly, I'm going to say they're amazing photos
of course.
That I took when I was in Africa a couple weeks ago. I finished a 2-week African safari, which was the number one thing on my bucket list as a photographer, to go there and take pictures of the lions and the giraffes and the elephants. And it was a wonderful, never forget trip. But I've got photos, which, again, National Geographic, are you listening? So I'm so excited about this. And I think we're going to be able to do to do well and raise a lot of funds for a good cause.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
That's exciting. And events are important.
Oh.
And they mean a lot to the community.
Yeah.
And speaking of community, the name Latino Communidad.
Okay.
It's so funny because I thought Comunidad meant community. Well, then you said communication. So I was like, my Spanish, I got to go back.
All right. Where's the guy that's going to throw the tomato at me?
Yeah, exactly.
You know, and I am not bilingual, but I know better.
You do.
Latino,
it's a lot.
Latino Comunidad means Latin community.
Yes.
I was like, oh my goodness, did I say? Oh, well, all right. So it's like, okay.
But it is communication. And that's why I think
yes.
that's what you were so focused on.
I was.
The access. And I know your passion is about when we communicate, this group of people just don't get the same level of communication. So that is the mission.
Well,
that is the mission.
I will say that 99 times out of 100, I do put my socks on correctly. So, you know, it's just, it is what it is.
It is what it is.
But it's Latin community.
That's it. That is it.
Yeah.
So with these community events, do the community get involved?
That is the hope.
Okay.
We've had one.
Mm-hmm.
That was designed to bring in partners.
Okay.
We are going to continue. So with this art show,
mm-hmm.
I am connected to a number of people who are either artists or they know artists.
Mm-hmm.
I'm waiting literally today for a phone call from a gentleman who has been described to me as being one of the major movers and shakers in the Washington region's Hispanic art community.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that he will see what we're doing and agree to assist moving forward. You know, the sky's the limit on what events we will have. And I mean, and again, you are so perceptive and I appreciate your input and acknowledgement, but an actual event brings people together in a way that being over the phone or even on Zoom or on email cannot. Mm-hmm. I am a proponent of my staff comes to work. Yes. I'm not having them remote.
Right. Yep.
I've used Zoom.
Yeah. It's
part
place.
of the world,
right, it is,
but I'd rather talk to you just as you and I are talking than on Zoom.
Yes.
So yes, we have many things that we are going to roll out over the next year, bringing the community together, bringing the partners together, even something as simple as at our kickoff event, you may recall we had a representative of the Washington Commanders football team.
Oh, yes,
and we gave out 10 tickets to their opening game on Sunday, the 15th of September. And before that game, they're having a 2-hour event celebrating Hispanic Heritage Month, which is the month of September.
That's
so, you know, we will not be the only people there. There will be others, and you can bet on that we're going to be talking up our foundation at that event. But there's an event where you make a connection, you give out your business card. Yes, I'm going to follow up with you on that. I'm going to talk to you about this. Oh, I can help you with that. This is the goal. This is what we're doing.
That is wonderful, and I'm so glad you said that about Hispanic Heritage Month, because I can only imagine that's going to become every month for you. That's going to become every month for you.
I hope it is.
Because of what you're talking about and what you're doing.
Yes.
So I'm glad you're starting at a good time.
Yeah.
That you can take it all in and be a part of a lot of the things that people do.
Right.
Because there's a lot of community events that happen around that.
There are.
During this time. But after September, it goes away. It's kind of like Black History Month. It's February. Okay, that's great. And then it goes. I know, I operate in the deaf world, and it's Grief Awareness Day is August 30th, and I'm like, wow, we're grief aware every day, So it is very important to be aware of who you're serving and how you want to connect and make it a part of your daily routine.
It is.
Which is good.
It's a part of my law firm. The culture in my law firm is not, it's 5 o'clock, let's go. Right. If it's something we need to do for a client, nobody in my office is watching the clock. I mean, they're doing what they need to do. I've had employees, who told a client who was waiting for a check, okay, you know what, I'm not going to Federal Express it to you. Where do you live? And they get in their car and they drive from Tyson's Corner to Woodbridge or Manassas to deliver a check to somebody that evening. So that, I mean, it's about what can I do to make your life a little easier. A little happier, to help you. You know, I mean,
just get to the next level, just get to the next step.
I don't think that I'm wonderful, but if I see someone with a whole bunch of bags, man or woman, young or old, and I'm going to open the door for them.
Right, and help
you know,
them out.
do I get a pass, you know, because I did this? No, but it's just, how can you not?
How can you not?
How can you not?
Right.
Yeah.
How can you not want to help the next person?
Well, that's it.
And I always say, when you meet anybody, you're one person away from your next opportunity.
Yes.
You're one person away from your next hand of help.
Right.
You're one person away from some piece of information that you can use to further you. So this has been a great conversation. I thank you so much. I want to make sure that we're clear. Like, is there anything else you think our audience should know about the Latin Comunidad before we sign off?
Well, I think I've kind of described it. I mean,
Yes.
again, the goal is access and providing hope and bringing in partners from all around the region. And, you know, every single day adds the potential of doing a little bit of that. And it becomes all of a sudden something that wasn't just so little, it's gaining traction and doing more and more and more and more and more. That's
awesome.
You know, I wish I could, you know, again, I said at the beginning, I'm a lawyer, I can keep talking, but
Right.
we only have, you know, a little bit of time left, so I'm going to shut up.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for being here. This has been awesome. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for what you're doing. On behalf of Anna as well, I know she is here right with you, and she would be very proud of everything you're saying. And Anna, what's her last name? Should we say her? Oh, Anna Bonilla.
Anna Bonilla.
Yes, so she's a very big part of this organization, and we give a lot of credit to her as well.
Absolutely.
Yes. So thank you so much. Well, it's that time again. If you have any questions about today's segment, please see the information scrolling below. You have been watching In the Cool of the Day and today's segment of People Connecting People. Thanks for watching. Until next time, bye-bye.